Everything is made here in Chicago. We spec out every single piece that goes out here. Just consistent American-made metals. If you're a maker, you've probably spent hours trying to find the right metals online. And after a while, every metal supplier starts to look very similar, with high minimums, overseas charges, and long shipping times. And once you order, you might have been shipped the wrong specs when it finally arrives. To your surprise, it's something different than you ordered. And I know it's frustrating. That's exactly what we set out to fix at K&S Precision Metals. Most people think ordering small diameter metals means waiting weeks and crossing their fingers that the shipment is right. And it doesn't have to be that way. We ship fast. Orders placed before 10 a.m. Central Standard Time typically leaves the same day the order's placed. And it's not packed tomorrow, not sitting in a warehouse for a week. I oversee this, and the team is phenomenal at what they do. We drill down on speed because we know that the creative minds of makers act fast. While many metal suppliers quote 2 or 3 weeks later after initially contacting them, we're getting metal out the door in 1 or 2 days. Notable makers like Matt from Warped, Jimmy DiResta, and Adam Savage love ordering from K&S because they know the speed at which they get their metals. They actually took it a step further because they ordered their own K&S display centers so they have metals at their fingertips. Speed is great, but what happens when you open the box after it arrives at your doorstep or business? A lot of metal suppliers struggle here. One order arrives undamaged, the next doesn't. One order fits your project just right, the other same part doesn't. One of the most important metrics I track as one of the leaders here at K&S is our tolerance and how consistent they are. Every tube and sheet is meticulously checked before it ships. That means you're not filing edges or scrambling for last-minute fixes. For stained glass or jewelry makers, even a fraction of an inch off in tolerance can ruin a piece. For robotics or aerospace projects, and more notably Mark Rober, who's in aerospace and a former NASA employee, he actually just worked with one of our customers on a Nerf build, and he's all about safety and he's all about tolerances. So that's why we ensure we mic and spec out every piece before it ships, because it's very important. And after 8 decades of doing this, which is longer than Amazon, by the way, we've locked this process in. When we say what you see is what you get, we mean that. Just today, the Smithsonian Museum ordered from us, and they wouldn't deem K&S a reliable company if we shipped damaged items or we had very slow processing times. So we make sure that we continue to serve with speed and reliability. And also, the Mortal Kombat 2 movie that is coming out just told us that we are involved in that project as well as the first Mortal Kombat movie back in 2021. And that customer came back to us, the same person, same set designer for that studio for their custom props, because in 2021, we still held the same standards of speed and reliability. So there's a story of when you serve a customer and do that right, they continue to come back. Well, when Wally Simmers, our founder, created K&S Precision Metals, he knew that cutting corners meant unreliable projects. He taught that to my father, who's a current owner. And what my father and I, of Christian faith, what we say is Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with all of your heart, as for working for the Lord and not for men. Everything is made here in Chicago. We spec out every single piece that goes out here. We don't outsource overseas, and this gives us full control over materials and processes. There's no mystery alloys, no surprise finishes, just consistent American-made metals. So if you've got a project on your bench right now, check out our website. Look at the specs, compare the lead times to the other suppliers that you're looking at. You'll see why so many makers and builders and pros continue to come back to K&S when it matters most.